welcome to ELEMENTIS Way. My name is Prem Sangeet, and in this episode, we're going to explore all about meditation, plant-based food, nutrition, and of course, longevity. And I have with me as my special guests, all the way from Italy, Massimo Leopardi. He's a director of the Veggie channel, Italian most influential plant-based community. Ciao ragazzi, come stai?
Ciao carissimo, molto lieto di essere qui. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you for coming all the way from Italy to Bali. Yeah, I would just find your story very fascinating. Massimo had an amazing life story that I hope you're going to share with us. And his brother made a documentary. It took them 2 years to make, and it ended up in cinema and won a multiple awards. Super inspirational movie called My Brother. Is that right?
Yes, this is my brother. Yes, translated this. This is my brother. Like, have a look at my brother like he is.
So tell us a bit more about your story and then how that impacted you to lift yourself up from the wells of depression and then being burnout and flying in the aerospace and then doing paragliding and extreme sports.
Yeah, I think this is something that everybody can find similar to his stories because, okay, this started before the social network arrived, started before the mobile phone arrived, but I was living in such a lifestyle that was very stressful. In front of the screens every day, big screens with a lot of data, and I was working as a satellite controller, spacecraft controller. So it's a very complicated job for me, at least, that you have to do in a black room, very dark, with many screens. And most of the time we've been working at night shifts. Night shift, there's not much people to control during the night, and you have to be very careful that the satellites is in the right position, working properly. Work with are very far from the Earth, 36,000 kilometers from the Earth. It's about geostationary satellites,
right.
You know, the satellite you use for telecommunications. And so they are their position has to stay in a very precise point. Otherwise, you lose the control.
So you had to spend nights in front of the blue screen in dark rooms that affected your...
for years.
It was a huge stress on you, And then what happened? When did it all broke up?
I understood only many years later, during a long psychoanalysis, that I found out the reasons why I was feeling sick. But at that time, I didn't know it was... anxiety, depression. I didn't know what was going on. Actually, I started not having the feeling of night and the day. I didn't know when to go to sleep. I was going to sleep in the morning because I was working in night shift and not finding any feeling of sleep. Or I was going to sleep in the night and waking up several times. And all of a sudden I became insomniac, because, you know, when you're working a night shift, you bring stuff and you put in the micro oven, or you drink a lot of coffee. And also when you're young, you feel strong, you feel, you know, you go to the gym, you do a lot of stuff, and you don't think you think you are unbeatable, no? So you continue to work night shift in the morning, maybe you go to attend classes, or I was doing paragliding at that time. So I was paragliding a lot. I was flying in the mountain, in the Alps in France, and doing night shifts in the control room. It was horrible because I was feeling well only on the paraglide. But when I was going to the city in Paris, working became a kind of I was scared to go to work because
your body intuitively knew that.
That was the start of anxiety, and anxiety associated with the paranoia that you think that your colleagues are doing something wrong to you, or that your director is speaking bad about behind the walls, things that are not true. It's just exaggerating of normal issues of.
So what would you say, how many years have this accumulative stress became chronic and you started to feel like depressed and paranoid about
altogether, it was about 15 years of
okay,
work
so
like
long
yes.
stressor, I see. And how did the then story? Sorry, I haven't watched the movie. I just saw that it's very popular in Italy. But how did all like just stop? Then when did you had your U-turn?
Actually, I had a burnout. One day, I got stuck at home with such a big panic attack. I didn't know it was a panic attack. I thought it was a heart attack. So I called the emergency, and instead of bringing me to a normal hospital, they put me in a psychiatric hospital, and they put me under tons of drugs without even asking me. I was I had how do you say this injections everywhere, and in a couple of days I was like a vegetable, a legume. I don't know how to say. I was completely without my soul. I couldn't think. I couldn't manage myself. I could only follow what the doctors, the physicians, the psychiatric wanted me to do. And I make it shorter if you want. This thing lasted 9 months. 9 months of his hospitalization without finding any solution, because the more drugs they gave me, the more side effects and problems I was having. And I want to tell this story to everybody, because I know for sure now that if I wasn't taken to a psychiatric hospital, I would have solved my problem maybe in a couple of months with a natural approach. But as soon as you put somebody into this kind of clinic, he's not going to go out anymore. I saw many person like me jumping from the window, or killing themselves with a tie. We were in rooms with no issues. The windows blocked, no keys. You have to ask permission to go to the bathroom. Somebody was tied on the bed. And actually, the end was when they proposed me to go through electroshock. Electroshock is the worst thing you can ever do. I didn't do. I refused, and I signed up to go out of the hospital. And from that moment, I started tapering the medicaments. I was starting little by little introduce myself to yoga, meditation. And what really was life-changing was a detox period I decided to do in the mountains with a nutritionist. And this really, that's where I became fan of plant-based nutrition, because I found out that first the nutrition is a fundamental good nutrition, and to switch towards a plant-based diet, it was the good choice. Also social activities, also physical exercise, meditation, and yoga, all these kind of things put all together are the way out of the problem. But I didn't know. I had to, to find everything myself, bits.
To test it by yourself, and you were curious to research. So you say one of the first steps that you took were exploration of yoga and meditation, right? And then you did a detox protocol, went into the mountain, into the nature, and kind of just detoxed all of these medications that you've been fed for 9 months, right? And then you felt, how did that feel to you? Was it feeling clearer, or it kind of felt a bit better?
Okay, yoga meditation at the beginning was just something I understood was the right way, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't meditate with all that stuff in my brain. And also I was very fat. I couldn't do any pose, any position. I was very in a good position, in a very bad position to do it. So I concentrated myself on nutrition, because during these 15 days I did in the mountain, I saw myself losing weight, of course, but also gaining strength and flexibility. And at the end of the 15 days, I was feeling much better. And I told myself, is it this kind of nutrition sustainable for a long period? So all the question I had in my head, like where do I get my proteins? Am I going to be deficient in I don't know, iron? I was going, because I had a video background. I had always with me a camera, and I was going to meet with physicians, nutritionists, and asking questions and making videos out of that. And that's the day that Veggie channel started, because my wife said, you know, there is a place on the internet, it's called YouTube. Oh, YouTube, what is it? Where you can share your videos with other people. Maybe they're interested in what you're doing and what the physician are telling you about nutrition. So okay, let's share these videos on the internet. And so we started sharing the video, and we saw the interest was very strong in Italy.
Because it came from an authentic story, and then you, by that time, your brother already have started making the video.
Exactly.
And so you basically had your reality TV, sharing all your kind of changes that you took in the diet and nutrition, and there were some specific ones that really worked for you, the nature immersions, the meditation. So you were combining all these kind of lifestyle medicines, I guess, and you shared it with others on the channel. And now channel has been active for many years. We have, I guess, thousands of videos already and a very big community. I heard that some Italian national TV called you the plant-based community with most authority, or something
that's it.
like that. Yeah.
You know why? Because we speak about nutrition and also all the other aspects that are linked to nutrition, like healthy lifestyle, ethical lifestyle, with a scientific cut. We don't say things just because we heard or we read somewhere. We're looking around. For example, we go in the international nutritional contest congresses, and we try to spot who is the most authoritative physician or scientist on a certain aspect. So we get him to sit with us, and we started asking so many questions, and we make videos out of that. So whatever question you have, you can find an answer on our Veggie channel.
So that must have impacted you quite deeply on learning so many things from the best experts, right, on your health. And now, what's your age right now?
My age is 62.
62, yet you look so much younger. So that's amazing. You know, me being a podcaster as well, I always research and learn. So it's fantastic actually to run. I'm sure the impact was fascinating. So what other kind of things you went into? I know you started to work more on the brain health and more on like the brain longevity. And I've seen some of your videos about these specific four pillars. Can you maybe tell us more about how you see brain longevity differently now after working with so many experts in that field?
Yes, just a few years ago, I met a psychologist in the village where I live, and she was proposing to the elderly people of the village a format based on an American studies, which is called the brain longevity therapy. And I was very interested about learning a bit more about that. So I decided to study together her for a year. And I found out that the 4 pillars of this format are nearly exactly the same as we've been proposing on our channel for years.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, the only pillar that I was not really expert in was about the meditation they were using, because they were using Kundalini yoga Kriya, which is called Kirtan Kriya. They use Kirtan Kriya, which has been studied by the researcher in the United States for about 15 years, and they found out that if you repeat this mantra every day, you really get your telomere longer and stronger, and this is a good way to prevent Alzheimer's disease. which is an amazing discovery.
So they were like measuring telomere as a biomarker to prevent neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and stuff. So it's fascinating. So telomeres has been known as this, especially ends of telomeres can define whether someone will have a mental clarity or will die
That's right.
sooner because of the brain functions and circuitry in the brain. So they discovered in certain types of meditation that you say it's called Kirtan Kriya, that similar to transcendental meditation, they chant these mantras over and over again.
Exactly.
And then the brain becomes coherent in this resonance, and then it fires and wires different synapses.
This
right?
Kriya is a real good exercise for the brain, because it combines, as you said, chanting and visualization, because in the same time that you are chanting, you have to visualize a light coming through your brain and going out from your third eye, which is very difficult. Chanting and visualizing in the same time, and also you have to
use the mudras, right?
Use the mudra.
The mudras and another one.
And there's also a song that you can listen to. If you can connect on internet, you can do it even on your own.
There are affirmations that they also sometimes do, right?
Yeah. So, no, you have to chant Satanama. And using your tongue and your part of this mouth in a special way, because they studied that if you chant in this way, you are going to press some acupuncture points on your mouth that is going to stimulate the brain at the same time. So these movements, this chanting, all at the same time for 12 minutes a day, which is very short time, has been demonstrated scientifically that improves your memory and prevents the risk of Alzheimer's disease, which is amazing.
It's amazing that it took us 10,000 years to understand that, Hindus and Buddhists were onto something good. It took us so long to find the EEG device to scan the brains.
But sorry, I have to be more precise, because this study has been conducted on Kirtan Kriya, but in order to have this effect, you have to combine with the other 3 pillars of the method, which is good nutrition. Plant-based nutrition is the favorite one, and social activity, which they call spiritual fitness, because you have to know how to go out with your friends, how to discuss with people, how to not to stay home, not to stay in front of the screen. It's a lot of rules you're supposed to respect in order to prevent your health. And exercise like yoga or any other kind of exercise is good. So meditation with Kirtan Kriya, good nutrition, plant-based nutrition, socialize regularly, and exercise. If you combine these 4 pillars according to the method, you will live not only longer but much better.
Yeah, healthier and happier is
healthier and better,
especially in community. And since you're mentioning the living longer, happier and healthier, we know that blue zones are one of these places in the world where people do so. And there is one red thread that's consistently showing up in all these zones, and it's a community activation. So what people do in community, how they do rituals, dinners, even doing a little bit of unhealthy things, drinking wine or things. But that social aspect is so important, isn't it?
It's probably the most important one.
Being a part of community and
which means many things. It means don't stay in front of the TV. It means lower down the lights at night so that you simulate the sunset. It means many things. In Sardinia, for example, we have a blue zone, very, very famous. And I was there to see how these elderly people live.
Fantastic.
And it's amazing. They have a very simple lifestyle, but they are always in the street talking to each other.
Well, Italian always chanting something, right? But no, especially that aspect of communication in the community is so good. especially long-term friendships, what they measure.
They don't eat much. They also, it's important not it's important what you eat, what kind of food you intake, but also the amount of food. They eat very little, very few things. They eat things from the ground. They grow themselves, and
So they eat local things that are locally produced.
yes,
And they eat little, so they don't kind of put a lot of pressure on their bodies, and they eat mostly plant-based, you say?
well, their diet is the real Mediterranean diet, which means not the diet that the Italians are eating now, and they call it Mediterranean, which is not, because it has been globalized. The real Mediterranean diet that has been studied and has been proved that is healthy for the earth is the one from the 50s, from the 40s, maximum from the 60s, where the access to meat and the access to cheese and fish was very difficult for people. So we could even say that they were nearly vegan. 95% they used to be vegans at that time, because they used to eat a lot of legumes, a lot of beans,
Olives.
yes, oil, not that much, not very little fish. Only people who were living near the sea had access to fishes. But
It's like all the hunter-gatherers, when they managed to catch something, they would then feast on it. So you were saying they were not eating the meats regularly, but they were mostly plant-based and less food. And how about the chrono diet? Like, are there any kind of studies you found that when do these people eat? It's like they don't eat, I guess, too late in the night when the sun goes down.
That's very strange, because in Sardinia they actually eat quite late at evening.
Interesting.
Yes, and they have a siesta. They sleep after lunch, and they eat quite a lot of carbohydrates, like pasta, bread.
But I guess their gluten is different than the one you find in the United States, right?
Unfortunately, nowadays they buy from the supermarket, so the gluten is not exactly the one they used to eat a long time ago. But I think the social aspect is fundamental, and the physical activity too, because they are gardening, they fishing, they whatever they can to stay active. They help their son and daughters. They walk a lot. So the physical activity is fundamental. So social activity and physical activity.
Yeah, walking in particular is very good.
Yeah.
And I guess the weather, we're in Sardinia, or these tropical blue zones, are kind of, the weather is like, you don't need sauna, right? Like here in Bali, you can just go out and sometimes it's gonna feel like sauna.
The exposure to the light for your eyes and to stimulate your hormones on your body is fundamental. So if you live in a place like this, you are very lucky, actually.
I'm very grateful to be in Bali for sure. Okay, so we spoke about these 4 pillars that you mentioned, which was about meditation, the nutrition, the social aspect of it, and in exercise. And kind of, how does your daily routine look like? You know, matching all these 4 pillars.
I go to the gym every morning of the week, except Saturday and Sunday.
Well, you recovered days, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I walk out the dogs every day, at least 2 or 3 times with my wife. We go into the forest, so we go through the forest for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. I'm quite lucky because I live in the countryside, so I allow myself to do these things. In the city, it's going to be more difficult. But I think everybody should find a way to do some physical exercise in every day on a daily basis. And then I have my moments of meditations, which is early in the morning before we go to the gym. I connect with some people online to make some Kriyas of Kundalini yoga, which is better to do together somebody else.
So social aspect.
Yes,
checked,
also
yeah.
to have a clock, you know, to have a regular clock. You at that time in the morning, one Kriya, another Kriya in the at 7:30 in the afternoon. So every day I have this two appointments, very important for me online.
So
Sometimes,
you created these daily routines that you repeat.
yes, I have this
You know, when
routine.
you wake up, when you go to bed, when you do social meditations and socializing, when you do gyms, right?
Yeah, there's a community of meditators, and we organize the day like this. Of course, everybody can make also personal meditation whenever they want during the day. I do just after the Kriya, because the Kriya is something also physical. You have to move your hands, and this is going to relax me much better, and I go into deep meditation easier after having done a Kriya. And once a week, I meet with the group. We do what we call a sangha, which is kind of Buddhist Hinduist meeting, and we read.
Community gathering.
Yes, we read some books. Every time there's one person is in charge to bring a subject, and we choose a subject about spirituality, about psychology, about meditation. We discuss about, and then we make a silent meditation, maybe half an hour, and then we have some tea together, and so this some social activity. Sometimes we go out for dinner. So this is roughly my permanent routine. And then, of course, I work on Veggie channel. So in the morning and also in the afternoon, I write articles. I do some editing videos. Sometimes I shoot videos. I go outside to shoot video, or I receive people in my studio to make some interviews together. But it's not really an activity that has to be done. I just do it what I like you're doing now, an interview with me. It's a social moment, and it's an exchange that is going to reach you and me, and it's not something that we have to do because it's a job.
But why is what you're doing right now feels like a good timing? Is it because you feel like there's a lot of people living in this constant chronic high pressure in society that you went through and had to burn out? What is the kind of why timing is so crucial right now?
I think that I discovered that helping people helps me. And this is why I enjoy very much trying to help people with information, giving information, or taking care about people that is suffering from depression or anxiety. But I don't do like a job. I just do because helping somebody fills me. I feel much better myself. I cure myself throughout the help I give to the people. I don't know how to explain, but here in Bali, as soon as I got here at the airport, I started questioning, the guy who brings you the luggage. I wanted to know about their religion, and he said, we believe in karma. We, you know why we smile all the time? Because we feel pleasure when we help people. Our main job is to help people. It was so beautiful. As soon as I arrived at the airport, I learned the lesson of my life. You feel better when you help somebody else. There's nothing more beautiful than that. You don't need to help yourself to help yourself. Just think about the others, because the others are part of you. We are all a community. We are all one. We are not separated. We are not separated entity. I am you and you are me. So if I help you, if I am your friend, I'm being friend to myself. It's not a religious speech. It's a scientific. I think yes, not I think. I read a study, a scientific studies that demonstrate that helping somebody else produces some chemicals into your brain that makes you feel better. And this is fantastic. We should teach this to the kids.
You're saying not religion, and this is something that where Buddhism lies. It took like the best part of Hinduism, brought it for West, and said like, well, there is no religion. There's a bit of doctrine there, but it doesn't celebrate any God, but it's to send blessing and healing and then suffering for everybody, right? And there's this aspects that you mentioned of karma, where whatever we do to other reflects back. Eventually, we're gonna feel everything that we experience in this lifetime, and everything that people experience because of our action when we leave this body eventually. So that's kind of the notion of the karma, and then how it hits us eventually in the Hinduism and Buddhism. So it's interesting that now the science is catching up with a lot of these old things again and again, especially in Buddhism, with the quantum entanglement and many other fields of physics. They're now discovering that scientifically it's actually good for us to support others. But it's also interesting, another study I found, since you mentioned, is when you share things with others, that's kind of the pyramid of learning. We only learn not by reading, repeating, but actually the cycle of understanding the thoughts and really embodying it, integrating. One thing is when we finally share that with other people.
Exactly, communication. The word is communication.
Yeah.
You need to, okay, that's very important. You make, for example, I make a video. First of all, I have to make a condensated, not long video. I have to make a video that gives real information to the people. But these people have to put into practice the teachings. If you just listen to the information and do nothing, it enters from one ear and goes from the other part. So you have to learn, whenever you learn something, you have to transfer to somebody else, or at least try to expose the subject to somebody else, so you elaborate and you learn more. The more you teach to the other people, the more you learn. And this is this is my idea of communication. Communication is the basic of our life.
Fantastic. So you're saying that this perseverance and consistency in doing that and sharing the knowledge is the key to learning. And tell actually our audience some piece of advice of how to do this better. Maybe what would that be like? Whether that's something you learn from the lessons of being burned out, living in high pressure, chronic lifestyle, to kind of finding your ways when you hit the wall and finding what works for you and sharing with others. What would be the kind of one piece of advice that you can give to our people on their journey?
A long time ago, a doctor, my psychanalyst, told me there are two kinds of people. People that are not possible to help, and people that have one part of their body still not sick. One part of the body is sick and the other one is healthy. So the healthy part of the body can treat the sick one. So he told me, you're not completely sick. You have one part of your body which needs to be recovered, I would say, but the other part is still working. So use the good part. Use the good part. And that gave me the input to work on myself and not waiting somebody else to help me. Of course, you need when you're very bad, you need some professionals to help you. But the person who is going to help you the most is yourself. If you don't help yourself, nobody's going to help you. So the sick person is the person that refuses to be helped. Have you ever seen people that you do whatever you can to help, and they're always sick? They don't want to recover because they decided they want to finish their life, and there's nothing you can do. If you don't want yourself to recover, then nobody can help you. So the first thing you have to do is to help yourself, to move your ass, I would say, to to boost yourself, to find a way to wake up, take a shower, jump into. I started doing bungee jumping. I started to do whatever I could to wake up, to reset my brain. And so I find out that going out, taking the sun, making some physical exercise, it what brings you out of the tunnel. But if you don't help yourself, nobody's gonna come and help you.
So we believe that body can heal itself, right? So, and only when we invest in this healthy part of our body or mind or soul. And then the more we invest, the more time we spend in nature, eating healthy food, meditating, all the pillars that we spoke about today, then our body becomes stronger. The healthier part grows, and then it heals the rest of the body that doctors call sick.
Yeah.
Is that right? Wow, fantastic. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Really fascinating by your story and your movie and the channel that you have built, the Veggie channel community. It's really fascinating, everything that you do, and thank you so much for coming here. And lastly, where can people find you and Veggie channels, and where can they dwell into more things?
Okay, Veggie channel is a platform made of different social media, but basically there is a website called veggiechannel.com. And then there's a YouTube channel with the same name, Veggie channel. And then of course we have Facebook, Instagram, we have TikTok, everything to spread out the communication. But veggiechannel.com is the main website, I would say. And I thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much. So that has been a pleasure. So that was amazing conversation. That was Massimo Leopardi from the Veggie channel. Remember to meditate, to eat healthy, so good nutrition, to be in community,
Yes.
to socialize, and to move your ass, to exercise.
Yeah.
That's a longevity hack for your brain. Stay tuned for more Elementis Way community. Join our channel, join our longevity hub, and I'll see you shortly. Take care.
Thank you.